What is this? Annie returns to kick some ass. So what's up guys, Fox in here. Part 2 of Annie's Lost Girl story just came out. So naturally, time for my breakdown. The last episode for this ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger. The star of this had Annie taking on this Lost Girl's case. It eventually led Annie to the shady part of Wall Cena. There, she found this body. Dun dun dun. What was Annie gonna do next? So right at the start of this, pretty interesting to see how Annie was analyzing the whole situation. She was taking into account how this mess would affect her mission the next day, and even further into the future. Annie was carefully considering what would happen if she failed the errand mission. And in hindsight, a good thing that she did. Pretty early on this episode, you also have this Annie dance scene. Honestly, I kinda had forgotten about this happening here. You get to see some more interaction from Annie with her father. And wow, does Annie completely lose it. She just starts kicking and kicking and kicking. It's to the point that her dad's leg got so fracked up for good. And then to Annie's and our surprise, she actually gets praised for what she just had done. This scene right here is just a great example of how much the anime improves on the original material. The manga version of this was super quick, but the anime version adds a lot more from Annie. Most importantly, her voice. Anyway, Annie eventually meets that guy from the trailer, the guy with the red eye, the Sharingan. Unfortunately, the teaser already gave it away. The minion took Annie's ring, and yeah, big mistake. As for what happens next, I really like how Annie and Mr. Red Eye had their little back and forth in the horse carriage. Both of these two were just analyzing each other, trying to catch each other on their lies. It almost had this Death Note type of feel to it. And man, you do have to love how Annie teases both of them. The minion guy falls for it pretty easily, but even Mr. Gias here isn't immune to Annie's wit. As for the actual ring scene, this did get teased in the trailer, and even seeing it again, I freaking love the ring stab scene. My god, I did feel that a little bit. This then causes the whole carriage to explode. Poor driver. But also surprise, poor Jean's cousin. The horse just went flying. You then got some more ass kicking from Annie, literally. She disables this old dude using the same move that she used on Eren a while back. And then, oh no, Annie is shot. Unfortunately, that teaser trailer gave it away. I was actually surprised to see how many people thought Annie had actually died here. Really guys? She was really only playing dead. That's something she must have learned from Reiner. In all, it turns out that this guy was yet another individual that was forever affected by Annie and the warrior's initial attack. A little bit later, you have some more Annie ass kicking. Recall that Levi's special was called No Regrets. Just go ahead and title this one, Annie Kicks Everyone's Ass. Although kicks aren't the only thing, at this point Annie was giving no damns. The minion got really lucky that gun was unloaded. The one surprising thing here was just how Annie left this guy alive. Sure, the guy mentioned something about thinking that Annie had a bomb, but really? This guy would have been too much of a potential risk. I guess you might be able to argue that this guy was a little off anyway, so the military police might not believe him, but still. As for the whole mystery, it turns out that the whole missing girl case was just around Carly having daddy issues. Which is really yet another example of people affected by Annie's actions. Oh, and yes, I do have to mention the best scene in here. They actually included the donut scene. My god, I was hoping for this. You know how us Americans love donuts? But seriously, I was thinking they were gonna cut it. Another pretty awesome scene was just interesting to see how Annie hated the father smoking, which was really just a personal hate for it. I mean, Titan powers should prevent cancer, right? But I could see where Annie was coming from. She was totally frustrated at that point. As for the very end of this, you have a little bit more of Annie's father, which was pretty much a repeat of what you heard at the end of Attack on Titan Season 1. At this point, who knows what this fully means. But anyway, let me hear from you. Question of the day. How much did you enjoy seeing Annie here in her special? Was it worth them making this mini Lost Girl mystery special for her? And what did you like the most from both episodes? Did anyone else just love the donut scene? Also, if you have read the manga and novel, what do you think was done better here in the anime? Was anything done worse? Anyway, if you love Annie, go ahead and give this a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. More juicy Attack on Titan videos are coming every week. Go ahead and check out my past videos on Annie, or check out my video discussions for the latest Attack on Titan manga, and I'll see you guys later.